What is going on, guys? I am the FD Guru, bringing to you guys an NFL episode of my DFS podcast. I haven't been able to make many NFL videos this year because I've been very busy over the weekend, but I found some time today to do it for Week 9 using FanDuel's main slate as a reference with their salaries. I do like a lot of value plays this week. I'm going to give you guys a quarterback I'm looking at, a running back, a wide receiver, a tight end, and a defense. Hopefully this video helps you out and we can continue to cash. We had a great week last week. And just like this video, if this video does help you out, and make sure you're subscribed. It's looking like the NBA already has a set date of December 22nd, so we can get back in the everyday rhythm of DFS because, you know, NFL is only a few times during the week, so I'll be able to make videos every day again during that NBA season. So let's get after it today. Big news is we have McCaffrey back from his long injury, arguably the best player in the NFL. They're going to need him against the Chiefs. I would say he's nothing more than a GPP play option because we don't know how well he's going to, get back into the rhythm and if he's going to see his usual 20 to 25 touches. So I'm not going to be referencing him in this video, but you could roll him in a GPP. They will need him. But for quarterback, I'm looking at the guy who's been cashing me in and week out, and that's Russell Wilson. I do love this Seahawks and Bills game. It's got a pretty high over-under, and it's two very high-powered offenses going at it. So I do think Wilson is going to really sling it against the Bills. He's been going off, arguably the MVP this year. I know the Bills have a pretty decent pass defense, but I do think Wilson is pretty unguardable. No matter what the defense is, I'm probably going to be targeting him. Even at 9,000, he's averaged over 25 fantasy points all year long. So he's just a nice, solid play on the main slate that I'll be rolling in cash games. For wide receiver, I'm looking towards the Lions. Kenny Golladay is out this week. And I know that Stafford is also out because of COVID, but the Vikings have one of the worst passing defenses in the league. So even with David Blough throwing for them on Sunday, I think Marvin Jones is a good guy to target at 6,100. He is their number one receiver by far, and he's coming off of two pretty good games, 13 targets in his last 2 weeks, getting double-digit fantasy points. So look for him to get a lot of targets on Sunday with Golladay out. You could also look towards a cheap play for maybe GPPs. That's Marvin Hall. He really benefited last week with Golladay being out in that second half. He had 113 yards. And again, at 4,600, maybe more of a GPP play because you don't know his consistency. But he should be on the field for a lot of those snaps, and he should be able to get some targets. So if you really need that cheap play in your lineup, Marvin Hall can satisfy that for sure. And then for running, I don't know why I went to wide receiver, but my running back I'm looking at, the Cardinals are in a great spot against this Dolphins defense. I'm looking towards Chase Edmonds with no Kenyon Drake. Edmonds is going to most likely play every snap for that offense, or as much as he can. And even if he doesn't run the ball a lot, which he probably will because I expect the Cardinals to be up in this game, he's a great pass-catching running back. He had 7 targets and 7 receptions last week, so he can get his fantasy points that way, and I do think he's going to find the end zone for the Cardinals in Week 9. So he's a great play. Even though FanDuel elevated his salary to $6,700, he is a top running back play on this week's slate. And then for tight end, I'm looking towards the young Noah Fant of the Broncos. He has a great matchup against the Falcons, another defense that's really bad against the pass. And this also has a pretty high over-under, and the Broncos are only getting like 4.5 points. So I don't expect them to get blown out, but I do expect them to be down in this game so they will have to pass it. The Falcons rank almost last in passing defense, so Font could be a really good play at 5,800. He should be a primary target for the Broncos. He's had 16 targets in the last 2 weeks, so they really like this young star or upcoming star as a tight end. 5,800 is a great play. You could also look towards, for the same reasons as Marvin Jones, you could look towards Hawkinson. He's been super consistent. In tight end's a position that's really hard to get some consistency in because you never know if they're going to find the end zone or get the targets that they need. But again, like I said with Marvin Jones, the Vikings are one of the worst defenses in the league, and he should get more targets with no Galladay on the field. 6,000 is a pretty safe price on him, and he's been getting targets all year long. So also a very consistent play at tight end for the Detroit Lions. And then at defense, I'm just going to recommend the highest salary defense because I think it's by far the best D on this week's slate, and that's the Steelers. The Cowboys are really bad with no Prescott running the helm for them. You got DiNucci, the young sensation, but he doesn't do much. He's a turnover machine. I could see the Steelers really giving him a hard time. And Ezekiel Elliott's currently questionable right now. But even if Elliott plays, he's been a non-factor with no Dak Prescott on the field. So the Steelers at 5,000 are a pretty nice lock if you have that money to spend up on defense. That was some of this week's video, guys. I hope you like it. I'm going to try to give you guys an NFL video from here on out for the rest of the regular season. And then again, we're rolling into NBA in about 6 weeks. So let's get excited for that. But if this video helps, make sure you're subscribed. Until next time, I am the FD Guru, and I'm signing off.